Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, if you can't tell by the title, we're going to be playing with the new-ish Revolution palette. I don't want to say it's brand new because it's not brand new, like it's been out for a little bit. It is the Revolution Reflective palette in Ultraviolet. Yeah, I saw this palette and I thought, you know what, let's pick it up. They do have a pink palette and I am tempted to get it because it's only £8. But I thought I'd get this one first and we'll play with this one, review it, whatnot. Yeah, I'm here for it. So yeah, this is obviously their new one of the new palettes. They, like I said, they did come out with a pink one as well. I didn't pick up the pink one. However, if you want me to pick up the pink one and review it, let me know. Let me know. So yeah, they recently came out with these kind of palettes and I'm kind of here for them. Like the whole packaging.
I'm really sorry for that sound. It is the tap. Please excuse it.
Yes, Revolution came out with these palettes. They kind of cool, like this whole packaging vibe. It's like very like see-through. The sun is out, guys. Sorry. It's very like see-through. It's kind of cool actually. Like you can actually like see through it. It's like very, it's like plastic, but I'm kind of living for the packaging almost. Like I think it's quite cool. Purchased this on Beauty Bay. So this palette, I'm hoping they do more colours in it because like I said, they have this one and they have a pink one. I've said that like 5 times. Jesus, Emily, shush. Yeah, they just look kind of cool. I really wish I did get the pink one because I think it would have been really nice to go with this one. But yeah. So this is what the palette looks like. Obviously the packaging is very like basic. I kind of like it. It's just very, you know, basic. In this palette, there's a couple of mattes, there's a couple of shimmer shades. It looks like it's primarily mattes. I'm wrong. There's 7 mattes and then there's 8 shimmers. But they all look really nice. So yes. So on the back, it just has like the name of the palette. And it also does let you know how many pressed pigments are on here. There are quite a few, it looks like. There's 8 pressed pigments in here, which is pretty cool. There's quite a few. So yes, I'm going to swatch a couple of the shades because of course that's what let's swatch a few that really stand out to me. I don't know what look to do today. Like I don't really know what I'm feeling, to be honest with you. Definitely feeling the blue. So here's a few shades swatched. They swatch fine, they swatch alright. The mattes seem to swatch really nice. The shimmers, like 2 of them, like the blue and this yellow gold shade here, both kind of feel like them shades that are quite putty, like the whole like wet shadow shade. And then these 2 shades didn't swatch the best, but then again this one's like a shimmer, so it's quite light, and this one is like, I don't think it's just very pale against my skin, so that's probably why you can't see it. There's quite a few pale shades in this palette, but then there's also quite a few shades that are quite deep and dark, so it's kind of like there's not that like in-between shade, especially for like the purples. Like there's not really like an in-between shade of this one and like say this one, if that kind of makes sense. So yeah, but it's nice that there is like this creamy matte shade here. It's nice how there is a couple of browns in here as well, so you can do like a very neutral look. But I like how they still incorporated the purples into it as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna prime my lids, zoom you guys in, and then we're gonna test out this palette because that's what we're all here to see. So yes, I'll be right back. I literally just prime my lids. I use the Beauty Bay eye base. Been kind of liking this recently. It's like not as thick as like some other like bases. I know that I said I didn't really like it, however it's kind of grown on me, so yeah. So from the palette, I think I'm gonna go for the browns and then the blue on the lid because that's just what I'm feeling. So I'm gonna take this shade Peaceful first, which is this brown shade. It's almost like a aubergine, like a deep aubergine kind of shade. However, we're gonna kind of like make it. Ooh, it is very like deep aubergine. Actually, you know what? I could be wrong. I might not be going brown. I might be going deep purple with the blue on the lid, we're gonna see. Right off the bat though, like, look at this. This shade is very pigmented. It's very pigmented. There's a little bit of kick up. Nothing major, just a little bit. I thought this like looked more browny. I don't really know why. I don't know where I thought that it was. I mean, it looks quite brown in the palette, but I mean, I suppose you can make it more brown with using the brown transition shades. Very pigmented. Definitely more of like a deep aubergine kind of shade, which is all good. It's pigmented. I don't see any patchiness. Yes, I like that shade. It's very nice, very nice. I'm then gonna lean more towards the purples actually. I was gonna go more brown, however, I'm gonna go more purple. So I'm gonna take the shade Island, which is this purple shade down here. I'm so sorry, the palette is so reflective. I mean, it is called like reflective palette, so yeah, I'm gonna take that shade and I'm just gonna start to blend around the edges. Oh, this shade has a lot of kick up in it. Oh, look at that. Ooh. That shade is really pretty. It's really blending out that first shade beautifully. There's a little bit of shimmer in there, like the tiniest amount, like you can barely even tell. Like, I don't like using shimmer as I don't like using a matte shimmer as a matte shade, if that kind of makes sense. However, like, there's barely anything in this. Like, you'd have to come pretty close to be able to tell that it's not an actual matte, if that kind of makes sense. Or it is, but it's just like got a hint of sparkle in there. That kind of makes any sense. But yeah, it is so pretty. Yes, yes. I don't know whether to go in with Haven or Paradise now. I'm feeling more Haven. They are very similar, to be honest with you. Let me swatch them. One's just a little bit more. Oh. So this one is Paradise, this one is Haven. I feel like I need to go in with Paradise because it's more purple. But they are very similar. I don't think they needed both of them in this one palette. However, that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, I'm going to take the shade Paradise, which is this shade here. They're more like a lilac-y kind of shade. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I just don't think that they needed both in there, to be honest with you. Actually, I'm going to take a hint of that other shade as well. I'm going to take a hint of Haven. I'm probably just going to mix the two together, you know, just create my own shade, I guess. And just, yeah, just blend around the edges. Like, I feel like they're both very pale. Like, extremely pale, like. That's nice though. I was worried they were going to be too light to kind of like blend out these shades. However, they're actually not. They're actually, like, as long as you kind of like build them up a little bit, like, they're actually not bad. So I'm going to go ahead because I'm kind of happy with how these shades are like blending together. They're actually doing an amazing job. They look amazing together. I'm just going to go ahead, quickly build up these shades, build them up, blend them out like I usually do, cut my crease, and then I'll be back to do the lid shade, inner corner shade, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll be right back. So I am back. I literally just cut my crease, you know, and yeah, cut my crease, whatnot, and cleaned up my under eye area. So now I'm going to go into a shimmer shade. I am really feeling the blue, so we're going to use the blue. Of course I am, because it's standing out to me. I don't know whether to use, I'm going to try using a brush first, and if not I'll use my finger. So yeah, this is the shade Oasis, by the way. This is the only blue in the palette. I don't know how well it's gonna pick up on a brush, because it is one of them like squishy kind of shades. Like it's very, okay, it doesn't pick up too bad. Let me just show you as well, like with this shade, like it's very, oh, you can kind of see like that's, it kind of like moves around in the pan. It's just one of them really squishy kind of shades. This brush probably isn't the best. I might use another one and see if that's gonna work any better maybe. So I've got a different brush. I'm gonna try a different brush. Sometimes it's the brush, sometimes it's just one of them shades that's just a little bit more tricky to kind of work with. Let me try, I'm gonna try use my finger. Let's see. It just feels, it feels very putty. It's very putty, very wet. It's quite pretty though. It's quite pretty. It's just a little bit difficult to work with because of the formula of it. Yeah, it's just not as like sparkly. It's kind of what I'd want it to be. Yeah, that's just me, that's just me. I'm gonna go back into the shade Peaceful, which is that dark purple aubergine shade, the first one that we went in with. And I'm just gonna like pop this on the outer edge just next to the blue, just to kind of like blend it inwards almost. Just so then there's a bit more of like a gradient there. Yeah, that looks cute. That looks cute. So for inner corner, I really don't know what to take. So is this like pretty lilac shade, but then there's also this shade as well. I feel like that one would definitely stand out more. However, would the lilac go better with this kind of look? Maybe. Maybe. I think we're going to take the lilac shade just because I think it would go better with this look. So this is the shade Idyllic, which is this shade here. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop that in my inner corner. We'll see how this looks. It's really pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just apply the rest, obviously finish off this eye of camera, apply my base, everything, and then we'll come back to give you guys my final thoughts on the palette. So yeah, I'll be right back. Guys, that I am back. This is the finished look. What do you guys think? Really like it. Kind of digging it, kind of digging it. It's quite cute. Yeah. Go ahead, let's talk about the palette. What do I think about it? First off, I like the packaging. I don't know why I like the packaging. I just kind of do. Like it looks kind of cheapish, but I actually don't mind it. I actually quite like it. I like the whole vibe of the palette, the packaging, that kind of thing. I like the colour story on the inside. I think they could have changed a few things about the colour story. That's just my opinion. I don't think they needed both of these like really light kind of shades. I just don't think that they were needed within the palette. I think they could have just had one and put a different shade in there. Maybe like a more deeper brown shade maybe. That way you can have like a dark brown, like smoky eye if you want to. So the shades I used, the mattes blend beautifully, they apply beautifully, so pigmented, easy to blend out, really easy to work with. So I really like that. For the lid shade, I like it. I did apply a liquid crystal eyeshadow on top just because it wasn't as like pigmented, foiled. It wasn't as foiled or as sparkly as what I'd have wanted it to be. However, it doesn't look as like sparkly and foiled in the pan, so yeah, I understand that it's not. But I do have some issues with this shade. I do, I'm gonna be honest, I really do. I noticed that it started to like crack, mainly on this eye, on the inner corner. I'll zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, as you can see, it's mainly on this eye. There was a lot of cracking in my crease. Obviously when you're like, if I'm like this, you wouldn't be able to notice. You wouldn't be like, oh my god, your eyeshadow's cracked. Like, no, it's not that big of a deal, but it is, you know, it's just something to note. I think it's because it's very like, it's very wet. I'm not gonna lie, it's very like quite putty. It's like a cream shadow almost, pretty much. I mean, like when you look at it in the pan as well, like when you press in on it, it's very putty. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, so obviously it kind of might do this. It might just be because it is that kind of shadow that is like creased on my lid. It started to crease up here as well. It's mainly on this eye where I have noticed these crackings. This eye isn't too bad, but yeah, other than like the little crackings, the little cracks in my crease, the shade is really nice. It's really nice. It is very pigmented. Again, it's not my favourite kind of shade to work with. It's not my favourite kind of formula with the whole like putty effect to it. However, it is still beautiful, but I did feel like it needed a bit of like something, which is why I added the liquid crystal eyeshadow. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's just me. I only used one other shimmer shade. I used the shade Idyllic. This is like a normal shimmer. It's really pretty. I really like it on the inner corner. I think it is gorgeous. I think it'd be beautiful all over the lid as well. Other than that, I actually quite like this palette. It's just a shame about the blue shade. The blue shade's not my favourite. I would still, of course, work with it, use it, that kind of thing. What I would probably do is use the blue shade and then apply like a blue shimmer on top, or like do what I did today. But yeah, other than that, like, it's not that bad. It's actually quite nice. Do I think it's worth £8? Yes, because you are getting like 15 shades in here. You can definitely create a variety of looks because of the shades that you do have. You have some really beautiful like shimmer shades in here, like this pink is gorgeous. You have this beautiful like bronzy kind of shade. You have some really nice crease shades. It's just, yeah, it's just really nice. I actually quite like it. So if you do want me to do another look using this palette, maybe a more neutral look, let me know, because I will do that for you guys. If you want me to pick up the pink palette and do like a whole separate like review on the pink palette, just let me know. I can also do that for you guys. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. If you did, please remember to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as it would really help me out. As always, I'll link everything else in the description box down below of what I'm wearing. As the usual, yeah. And of course, I'll be linking my social media handles above and also in the description box down below in case you want to check me out there. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!